Jesus told all how to remember him and how are ones to remember him. He showed it. He says he passed the bread around, they partook, wine, they partook. This is how you remember me. So if there's no partaking, then you're not remembering Jesus. Now, the Watchtower had millions come to their observance of this special meal, but most of them did nothing to remember Jesus. Because to remember Jesus, you have to partake of the wine, partake of the bread. Jesus said in John chapter 6, anyone who partakes of my flesh and drinks in my blood can gain everlasting life. Anyone who does that, whoever does that. So then why would it not be the case that anyone or whoever does this thing, who puts faith in Jesus by doing this, why would they not in turn also partake and remember Jesus by partaking of the bread and the wine? Now, of course, the Watchtower will say, well, we prohibit anyone that's not anointed as we are, these governing body members and others who claim to be anointed, which is a red flag when people say I'm anointed, as Jesus said in Matthew 24, verse 4 through 5. But they say only us, the anointed, who have this hope of going to heaven, we're the only ones who will partake because we're the only Israel. We're the Israel of God. Everybody else is just Gentiles, so to speak, spiritual Gentiles. What did Revelation chapter 14 say? The 144,000 are first fruits. Let's say you have 40 acres of, let's say, wheat, and you say, I'm going to give the first fruits, I'm going to give 4 acres of wheat to a charity, and they have a means to process it and and they have the children making bread and they're eating fresh bread. It's all good. But still, after you've given up those 4 acres, what do you have? You're giving those first fruits up. You still got 36 acres of wheat that has to be harvested, or fresh, good wheat. So they're first fruits of the wheat harvest, as Jesus likened it to. But there's still a whole bunch of other wheat. So they're wheat, but also the rest of the harvest is wheat also. They're not the only ones who are of Israel either, because although they will be with Jesus wherever he goes, they will rule with Jesus. Who will they rule over? Matthew 19:28 shows that Israel will be ruled over, judged by these ones who sit on the thrones. So it's not just them that's Israel, but also those who are subjects of the kingdom. As Galatians 3:7 says, all those that put faith in Jesus are children of Abraham. And Revelation chapter 7 so rightly shows how the 144,000 are taken out of Israel. They do not equal each tribe. They're taken out as first fruits. And the meal that Jesus gave to us to remember him, the blood is for the new covenant. And that new covenant involves all of Israel. Therefore, all Israel, all true Christians, all who put faith in Jesus, partake of the bread and wine. And if you don't partake, you're not doing anything to remember Jesus. And it also shows that those who partake doesn't mean they're anointed, see, because it's for all Israel. That's a lying sign that the governing body has instituted, but they have no scriptural backing for. Their partaking has no relevance to being anointed, but it's something that all Israel does because it's a meal of the new covenant which all Israel is in. So when the time comes for that particular celebration, that memorial of Jesus, the question is, will you do as Jesus wants you to do? Will you remember him, or will you be just an observer and do not do anything that Jesus said to remember him?